This time, on the highway through hell,
Nobody's going anywhere.
a nasty spring storm
He blocked the whole road.
catches the coke off guard.
We were converting to summer.
A mail truck hurtles toward an icy river.
I'm worried about that trailer moving.
Look at it.
And a broken promise
Hello.
forces Jamie to walk off the job
We're done. Okay, we're leaving.
and face a reality that could drive him off the coke.
You're either going ahead or you're going backwards.
In the rugged mountains of the Pacific Northwest, there's a highway like no other. The Coquihalla is an engineering marvel. But when the weather turns bad,
Look out!
It's like the Bermuda Triangle of truck accidents.
keeping the coke open takes an army
When the highway shuts down, the world shuts down.
and a last line of defense.
Jamie Davis en route.
A heavy rescue team ready to tackle any disaster. Because here, closure is not an option.
Please don't use that S word. An early spring wouldn't hurt my feelings any. No, me either. It's been a weird winter this year so far.
A freak April storm plunges the coke back into winter.
Ah, it looks nasty. The joys of being a truck driver.
Highway crews figured the snow season was over.
This comes as a little bit of a surprise. Normally, we don't get this kind of a snowfall at this time of year. Right now, we've got 2 plow trucks and 2 tow plows working. We don't have all our equipment up and running because we were converting to summer.
It's not long before a jackknife shuts down the northbound lane,
No, nothing's getting through. This guy, he blocked the whole road for me.
and road crews have their hands full.
Shouldn't be too long. We're just waiting for the tow truck.
Plow truck drivers trying to slow everybody down here.
There's about a dozen trucks or so and a couple of cars, but nobody's going anywhere.
Up on the smasher, Jamie's rival Al Quiring is busy clearing a spin out.
Another night in paradise, eh? Gotta tell you guys. Everybody gets spoiled with that little bit of sunshine and then surprise, surprise. Okay, here we go.
Tonight, Al came prepared. Down at the jackknife, he sent a second truck and driver to get the road open.
See that cable go tight? Okay. You lift the truck off and just stay with me. You stay right behind me. Don't go to one side or the other. Okay?
It's Jamie Davis' competition that's doing all the work up there today.
Not quite. At the bottom of the coke, Scott is trying to play catch-up in the vintage General.
Did I mention this truck sucks? There's no room for me to get in here and work. Hey! Well, let's go see if we can't make $1 or $2, eh?
Firing was there and he was towing them out.
Just told everybody and they can send them back to Hope.
Al, the one-man band. Since there's nothing left, old Al got her. There's no trucks left. There's a couple of cars.
Not wanting to go home empty-handed, he stops to help a driver in distress.
You need a little pull, do you?
Probably do, eh?
Yeah.
Come from Saskatchewan. I'm used to a little bit of snow, but this is, more than I anticipated, and I'm not properly prepared. So this is what happens on the Coquihalla.
Maybe charge them $100. We'll see. Kind of sucks charging anybody, but if you don't charge somebody, nobody pays the bills, right? Oh, look at that. Conveniently located. Oh, look. Okay, stick her in neutral and follow along.
It may be overkill, but it gets the job done.
You know, thank you for being here, man. Really, seriously.
I wish all my customers were so happy.
Save my bacon, brother. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Hey,
Safe
don't forget to
travels.
take your card.
Safe travels.
You bet, you too, eh?
The one guy not on the hill tonight is Jamie's lead driver, Adam. That's because he's 900 miles away. 2 days ago, he and Jamie drove north to scout out the oil boom town of Fort McMurray.
Sammy's barreling down on us. Yeah. Look at him go.
Their mission, to save Jamie's company. Recently, a new police rotation policy forced Jamie to split work with a rival company. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Well, I can see the writing on the wall. Now I'm faced with the reality of 50% of our business is gone. I'm not going to wait around till the banker's phoning wanting to come and repo my truck. I got to go put these trucks to work.
There's money in the oil fields. Go to the oil fields. Go to Alberta.
If you go to Fort Mac and try it, I don't think you'll ever look back.
Why wouldn't you try it?
What have you got to lose?
This is interesting, really interesting to me, you know that? Look at that. That's a pickup truck rolled over. This is like the Wild Wild West here, from what I can see.
Highway 63 leading to Fort McMurray has one of the highest wreck rates in the country.
I can't believe they leave cars in a ditch like this around here.
I don't think it's too hard to get business around here. It just seems to be everywhere lying around. You know what? Boom, there it is. It's like the gates of heaven open up for me. It felt right. That town's got my name written all over it. No, this is an industrial mecca, this place. This is where we need to be.
Two days later, they're back in Hope. While Jamie was away, his wife Sherry was managing the office.
What's going on here? Hey, get them out
That's
of here.
just the beginning.
Well, this isn't a pretty smelly girl place, right? This isn't...
No, it is, Jamie, right? It's all about what the person wants it to be.
What happened to my desk? How come it's all neat?
Because that's the way a desk should look.
Hang on, this isn't right. I won't know where anything is. Leave it the way it had it. Murphy.
While Jamie tries to get his office back, over in the shop, the crew is worried about their future.
The rumors are, I guess, the fort's moving to Fort Mac, so and I guess we're all going. I don't know.
We'll see how it is. You know, there's obviously we're gonna have to have some discussion on what's going on and what his intentions are and all the rest of that BS.
Communication around here sometimes isn't as good as it could be.
With rumors flying and business on the brink,
Oh, good, he's back.
Jamie summons his crew to a meeting.
We've had a pretty rough couple of weeks to wrap our heads around losing half our work, so this last weekend, Adam and I went on a little road trip up to Fort McMurray. Lots of revenue, lots of work up there. We're pretty confident that Fort McMurray is going to bring us a lot of business. We're going to set up there. We're going to have a yard there. Adam's going to move up there probably first. Had a meeting with Kevin, and we've asked him to take the rescue out there as well. Ken's going to move in there secondary. Maybe Sammy, you might end up going to Alberta, coming back and forth to your family.
So the new guys that just started working here stay in Hope and we go to Fort McMurray?
That seems a little weird. You want your best guys to go to Fort Mac, your most experienced guys. This is happening. You guys should all know what's happening. We've got to realize that we can't keep our big expensive gear here to look after the highway if we're only looking after it half the time.
I think there's probably some shocked people. It's a big move for the company. I'm a little bit nervous about it. It's a tough area to work in, but we'll give her a shot.
I'll think about it. I'm not 100% for sure I'm going.
This is a shocker for me. I want to be closer to my daughter. I want to watch her grow up. You lose a lot going up that far.
Now I'm moving to frickin' Fort McMurray in the middle of northern Alberta, which is 17 hours away. I don't know.
The next morning, a client calls Jamie for a recovery on a back road. To help sell Fort Mac, he's decided to give Ken a taste of heavy wrecking.
Little snowflake. Fort McMurray, it's a long way from the ocean and the mountains, and I'm a BC guy, so it's kind of hard for me to make that adjustment. I'm about 70-30 to not going.
It's the first time I've been in this truck. Really? Yeah.
You know, Ken has been here for a couple of years now. He's proven that he's a steady Eddie. And so if he wants to work his way into the bigger wreckers and take on a little more of that role, then well, there's opportunity for him to make pretty good dough.
Do you really think Adam and Kevin are serious about being there and living there? And
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's really excitingly busy out there. And there's a pub you can walk down to, and there's a live band, and they sing Johnny Cash.
Nice. There's just too much going on in my brain, right? The move, everything else.
Well, we're all under a lot of stress.
I know that, I get that.
The wreck they're headed to is on a remote logging road.
We're heading up into a place that's behind Boston Bar. It's an area called the Nahatlatch. An excavator has gone around a corner and leaning like this on a trailer, and we're gonna winch him back on the road. It's a pretty heavy piece of machinery. We're talking probably 50,000, 60,000 pounds. Anything involving heavy weights makes you nervous.
To reach it, they need to cross a single-lane bridge built for logging trucks.
Look at that down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
This side's even better.
I'm getting goosebumps going on.
There's waterfall on this side.
How's it going?
I've had better days, bud.
The low bed went into a ditch, and now the excavator it was carrying is on the verge of slipping off.
Well, those chains are holding that frickin' machine from sliding.
That's what it is.
The driver wrapped a chain around a tree to keep the excavator from falling off.
Oh, God.
Are you comfortable that that'll stay on there with that chain that's holding them on there?
Wow.
Or should we put more on? Or?
Oh, I don't know. You want to look at it?
Yeah.
You can see what I tried to do, right?
To hold it, which is good. What we'll do is I'll come back in here and we'll put a line off that tree a little bit, maybe around your, big bearing, your middle section, and we'll get the boom out and we'll try to lift the trailer back up on the road.
Jamie's plan is to pull from two directions at once. He'll rig a snatch block to a tree to hold onto the excavator. Then he'll use his boom arm to lift the trailer out of the ditch.
To put one of these in the rail and around on each side on the trailer. Okay. We're just gonna put this strap around the tree.
Where do you want to go with that? Back to the tree?
Do you want me inside there, that hole?
I would like it if you could somehow.
I can start it up. Like, I don't mind.
Put the boom over there.
Yeah, I can. Well, I can push up. I can push up, and it'll pick me up a bit.
Okay, if you want to get in it and help us along. This is a very fine line recovery. Somebody could get hurt. Somebody could get killed. Somebody doesn't play the fiddle just right. We got a problem.
You good?
Okay. What's the problem here? He needs to push. Tell him to keep pushing.
They've almost managed to get the flatbed back on the road. But the job isn't done yet.
Am I okay here?
Okay. Basically, you're on the road now.
They now must execute a risky maneuver.
See if he can pick up now.
By using the bucket as a brace, the backhoe has kept itself from slipping off the tilting flat deck. But to get out of the ditch, the bucket needs to let go.
If I pick up, Jamie, am I gonna flip over?
I don't think so. Just go nice and easy.
Okay, just watch me.
You guys want to stand back?
Everybody out of there? What's going on here?
Hey!
You good?
Okay.
Jamie is trying to keep an excavator from sliding off a flat deck trailer.
What's going on here?
It moved. Hey! Can you get the trailer under my tracks more? My bucket keeps sliding down. Gonna carry me right off.
The backhoe's boom arm has been bracing the machine, but to complete the job, the arm must be lifted and swung around to the other side of the trailer.
I'll run another line off the tree, and we'll go back and forth right to your deck.
Jamie and the operator are worried they've painted themselves into a corner.
We're going to put a couple extra chains on the back end so that he's safe there. It gives you pins and needles when something that large on a trailer starts to shift on you.
You want me to lift up?
Okay, give it a bit now. That's working out good. Now we get the weight on the other side.
That was a little scary.
Whoa. We're done. They'll just chain it off again and tie it up, and they'll be on their way.
Yeah, it was ready to flip over, so that's very stressful. Very.
You want to run one of these lines in first for a bit?
Sure.
For Ken, this is the shot at heavy rescue he's been waiting for.
That's why I moved to Hope, was to do heavy rescue. At the end of the day, you feel like you worked a really good day, and on payday, you got a really good paycheck.
Back at the yard, Jamie's got another surprise up his sleeve, this time for Scott.
Come here, you lying, cheating, thieving bastard.
Last week, the Western Star heavy wrecker that Scott's been waiting for all season finally arrived.
You guys knew it was coming too, didn't you?
I knew it was coming.
But with bills mounting and the season almost over, Jamie decided he couldn't afford to put it into service.
Well, we're gonna go broke in style anyway. So here's the deal. Now that we're moving to Fort Mac, I want that Western Star put together pronto.
Yeah.
So.
Is it staying here?
Gonna stay here for now.
Thanks, buddy. Get her done. Been waiting for that truck for 5.5 months. I can imagine it's a bit polished. Then I'll have to go out and earn my stripes, maybe. Outstanding! I have my truck, and I'm happy about that.
And what a truck it is.
A 600 horsepower Caterpillar in it. It's got a 20,000-pound front axle. It's a 30-ton Century wrecker. Every bell and whistle on this thing, it's got everything.
Well, not quite everything. Scott wants to add a finishing touch before he takes it on the road.
Scott.
Gord.
It's ready to pull this tank.
Swap out the stock fuel tanks with custom chrome.
There's a lot of pride in what you have. You drive down the road and you see the odd guy looking over at your truck, kind of giving you the nod that, hey, this is all right. You feel good about what you're doing. It's the bling of the truck.
Yeah, look good.
It'll be as nice as I care for it, and I'll care for it like it was my own. Beautiful.
Anybody know when that guy buried that trailer?
The next morning, Jamie is back on police call.
Yeah, at about 5 this morning. They're sending a tow truck out for it. Yeah, Jamie Davis is en route.
There's been a wreck involving trailer load of post, and it's gone in the river. And he's right in the river there too, look at that.
Oh, yeah, look at that, eh? Oh, my God.
Scott's already on scene in the old General.
I think you learned one really big lesson, and that's not to be sleeping when you're supposed to be driving.
A semi went off the road and almost landed in the river. The trailer is loaded with thousands of pieces of mail. The problem is where it landed. It's threatening to slide into the water at any moment.
Just hold it. Put a line on it and hold it.
And the tractor is leaking fuel and fluids. Jamie's been hired to recover just the tractor, not the trailer.
Ministry of Environment has called us to lift this truck out of here so it stops leaking. The trailer has to stay until it's dealt with. Tractor has to come out in order to deal with the fuel spills and leaking fluids. That's what we're hired to do.
Draining the fuel tanks isn't an option.
The police wanted me to evacuate the fuel, and I said, well, that's gonna be kind of tough because it's upside down. If I take the fuel caps off, we're gonna have a big leak.
To stop the spill, they'll have to separate the tractor from the trailer, then flip it back onto its wheels.
You got the pin pulled? No?
No. I'm not going to pull the pin until you get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to slide off.
Well, what am I going to do with it once I get it?
Pick it up, put her over here, we'll flip it.
All right. I'm worried about that trailer moving. If it does anything, it's going to break open.
The trailer itself had major punctures in a pretty bad structural state.
She's sitting good on that rock. It has got a good rock at the back holding it. And the front of it's touching down on the ground there.
Once I start muscling the tractor around, there's a good chance the trailer could go down more. So Scotty just put a line on there to secure it on the back end. Why don't you guys work on the front end first and then the back one? Careful, that'll be slippery. Put it right around the front. And now the next thing's the fifth wheel.
Before they can lift the cab, they need to release the kingpin that connects it to the trailer.
Oh!
You got it?
No, I didn't. It's separated like this.
Let me just lift it right up. Ready?
Hold on there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on.
There. That thing just gone into itself.
Don't move.
You can hurt yourself getting down off of a truck and you fall on a rock. Especially us old fat guys, eh, Scott?
Yeah. White, tight, and slide her out.
I think I'm gonna go left with it a bit.
As Jamie starts to lift, someone notices that Scott didn't disconnect the air lines to the trailer's brakes.
What about the airlines and that?
What about them? You're gonna watch them break in a minute. You wanna climb down there and undo them?
I ain't crawling under that thing.
Whoa! Look at, look at, look at, look at, look at.
Hang on, buddy.
Heavy rescue's got an upside-down cab in midair.
Whoa!
When the air lines break loose.
Look at, look at, look at, look at, look at.
Watch yourself.
I knew it was gonna swing, but I was like, oh, okay, I didn't expect it to rock so violently. You know what you gotta do now is go flip in there, turn around, and go in here.
You're gonna flip it?
Yeah, we're gonna need a couple straps, buddy.
They get it stabilized, but now they need to flip the cab in midair.
Something we don't do every day is a mid-air inversion. We haven't even seen it in 2 years.
With the cab suspended from the rotator's boom arm, Scott will pull from underneath to try to flip it.
Open it wider. They're gonna pull this truck out, and as they pull it, I'm gonna let it down. Run that out, and he can pull that with one cable. It'll drag out like this, and then I'm gonna draw my boom back in and see it's already starting.
It's spooky. I don't care how long you've been doing it for, it spooks you.
If you didn't know what you were doing, a lot could go wrong.
Old General's doing her job. I'm just gonna spin my truck around. I'm gonna grab a hold of that truck after we evacuate the fuel tanks.
All right, let's go.
Before Jamie can even finish this assignment, he gets a call for another wreck. He leaves Scott behind to sort out how to deal with the trailer. On the other end of the Coke, a semi has tipped over in the median. Another tow company has called Jamie to help upright the trailer. It's loaded with cardboard.
Tractor trailer flips over. The load shifts onto the wall that's on the ground. If you winch that truck up, the wall would stay on the ground.
Jamie's worried the fragile sidewall could blow out.
Where's the other strap?
He's the only one on the Coke with the right gear for the job. Airbags.
They invented these in Great Britain and brought them over to here in the early 60s.
Holy, first start.
Each airbag is connected by a hose line to the compressor block. Valves control the airflow to each bag. The trick is making sure the bags lift the load evenly.
If you push too much on the trailer in any one area,
Get down there and get it in. That is hard, eh?
The angle of the ditch makes it hard to get the bags where they want them.
we do start to lift it about a foot off the ground, and then we're looking at it and we're knowing that, hey, you know what? We're picking up on the top end of the box here quite a bit, and the load's not there. The load's way down low, down to the bottom of the trailer by the wheels.
You want to put a small one in there, or you just want to, what do you think?
It's kind of in a ditch that's on an angle like this, so if you let the bag, expand and it gets to here, the trailer's not going to flip over because you don't have enough of it in the air. So what you need to do is actually get the bag under here to lift.
Okay, roll this bag back, and then that bag needs to be enough room for the big bag to fit in the middle. Right now, what you do is you jockey these bags back and forth, and then let them down, move them in, let them down, move them in.
But still, it's not much, Jamie.
Do it again.
Go there.
How far can you go now? Wiggle it in there, like working.
That's more like it.
Put this one down a bit. So much weight in here, we'll be real lucky to get it up without breaking it.
Back at the mail wreck, Jim Lasser arrives to assess salvaging the cargo.
You can't see much from the bottom. Let's go around the top and see what you see for the...
I'm not going down on them rocks. They've been soaking in diesel for hours.
But they can't start the recovery until someone authorizes payment.
Basically, just have to hold on to the trailer so it doesn't go into the river, right? So.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
The post office has sent a supervisor to oversee the recovery.
It's like somebody had a little nap here.
It's kind of looking like it. Kind of looking like it,
The problem is, who's paying to get this out of here?
Well, when we didn't hear...
Scott makes his pitch for giving Jamie the job.
Me and Jim have been talking, and if we use the trucks that we have here, 90% chance of a catastrophic failure and a lot of wet mail.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to avoid, obviously.
But we have a piece of equipment that will give us a 75 to 85% chance of success. Somebody's got to say that, yes, we want to be on the line for the bill.
Okay. I don't see any other choice, right?
Yeah.
You there?
He calls his boss.
So obviously that's got to get done, and we'll just tell them to go ahead and do it. Okay, guys. He wants to know if that trailer's going to be pullable after.
No.
Okay, so it's done.
Done.
Okay, so go ahead and do what you got to do.
So Canada Post is going to guarantee payment on the job?
Yeah, I can look after that for you.
Hello. Hey, James. Scott here. Canada Post is guaranteeing payment on this job.
4 months ago, we did a job for another postal contractor, and we're still not paid for the bill.
Pre-authorize it for $20,000 before you do anything.
Why do I want to expose myself to another job and not get paid? I have to pay my employees. I'm not playing this game.
Canada Post come up with a credit card, so I'm not financing the wreck anymore by making them pay.
With the postal wreck under control for now, Jamie gets back to the airbag job.
Come on, I don't have much room.
We take the time, we deflate each bag, put them down deep, right down where the load is.
I'm gonna crack all the valves open, and then we just let the airbags do the work. This is really good. I'll go tighten up my lines. How are those bags looking, Ken?
Straight as can be.
Okay, good. We got them so low, they'll likely push this thing over without even a wrecker.
I know. That's a beautiful thing.
We're getting slack. Bags are doing their job.
There you go.
That was beautiful.
Like that? Perfect.
Couldn't have asked for a better airbag job. It was textbook.
I'm gonna go off the off-ramp and get on to the next job.
What's the next job?
That postal one.
Are you gonna go do it?
I'll give us a visa. Well, now we'll do it.
Have these guys got payment ready?
They're getting payment all set up right now. It's happening.
Hello.
But just as they're about to start, Jamie gets a call from the post office.
You know, I'm here, I can do the job. If you don't want me to do the job, we'll gladly leave. And you can figure it out on your own.
They're having second thoughts.
When the rotator finally got there was no money.
I've had enough of not getting paid and being jerked around, right? I'm not the bank. The boss says, no, we're not paying the bill. It's the trucker's responsibility and his insurance. He's right, it is, but I'm not getting involved. See you later, I'm out of here. I'm gonna clear my guys out of here, and you can call your contractor to get whoever he wants to do it. Okay, thank you, bye.
Until this gets sorted out, thousands of pieces of mail will have to stay one thin sidewall away from a trip downriver.
So just tow this truck to the yard and we're done, okay?
We're done?
We're leaving. So jump in the truck, let's go.
That's a good idea?
Yep. This isn't proper business. It's not the proper way to look after things. And, you know, just get it done and we'll pay you some time. Well, that doesn't fly.
I went up the Coke to Kamloops and came back down this way, so the Coke wasn't that bad.
Up on the Coke, Ken is still mulling over the move to Fort McMurray.
Fort McMurray is a long way from Hope. I haven't even been in Hope 2 years yet, and for me to move to Hope was a life-changing event. It was a big deal. You might have to make a sacrifice to the great tow god here. Do something. Something's got to happen. So. And now Fort McMurray is 17 hours away, and it's a different province. So if things don't go well there, then I'm really screwed. Certainly one of these great events is got to start frickin' paying off.
After work, he meets up with Adam to get his take on the big move.
When the highway's closed for 3 days at a time because of wrecks up there, and they can't get the highway open, there's definitely a demand for service up there. I feel nervous, you know, it's a big change for me. I'm leaving behind my wife and 2 kids. Worst comes worst, we can go drive taxi cab.
Oh, yeah.
Taxi cab drivers are making 70 grand a year up there. The more work I can do, the better off my family is. That's always my biggest thing, to make sure I can provide a good life for my family. Man, I could put a pink hat on and drive taxi all day.
Well, you got a bunch of pink hats at home already. I think we've got the drinking skills to live in Alberta.
Oh, I don't know about that, man.
Back in the yard, the one guy who doesn't have to worry about the move to Fort Mac takes his new toy out for a spin.
We're behind schedule and getting there. But it's finally happening, and we're gonna take her out, scratch a little paint on her maybe a little bit. I got my own truck, it's got my own tools in it, nobody else messes with it.
I love it.
We're gonna give everybody a little run for their money on the mountain there. And next season, you never know, I might even wind up being the king of the Cove. Who knows?
The next morning, the trailer full of mail is right where they left it, clinging to the riverbank. And the post office rep has had a long, sleepless night.
We don't want it in the water. We want that trailer staying together. That's a major, major concern for me. Just keep our fingers crossed. That's all I can do, right?
The trucking contractor has managed to find a big city towing company to work for a lower price. and willing to drive more than 2 hours to try their hand on the code.
This could have been all taken care of yesterday, but we need people to be accountable for their contracts that they own with us, so.
This other company, they're reputable, they've been around a long time. They're just putting their nose in something that they don't do regularly, and they're not equipped to do it.
The big city crew works as quickly as they can.
You want a bar to push on it?
But without a rotator, this won't be an easy job.
They're tow truck guys, they do towing. They're not recovery people. So it's a recipe for disaster.
Scott and Jim observe from a distance.
I just went back to look to see what was going on. I went to the other side of the river.
We're gonna use this truck to get it back on its wheels, and then I'm gonna hold it up with that truck while we pull it out.
Awesome.
Gotta keep it off the rocks.
Yeah, that's great.
The plan is to flip the loaded trailer upright using a single wrecker.
If he's gonna do it like that, he should have a low line off of his truck.
Yeah, you need to download to his truck.
Yeah.
And then he should be running, the front should be on a high point hook to help stand it up.
That was close. They had the big tow truck all hooked up, and it actually snapped one of the big steel cables. If this thing opens up, it's gonna go floating right by me.
Okay, we're using your truck.
With the first wrecker's main winch line broken, they need to use a second truck.
Ready?
Something fell in the river.
No, it didn't go in the river, it's on the bank. One letter, that was it.
Hopefully they can just drag it right up now and we'll have nothing else come out of there. Just worried about how big that hole is on the other side.
It's gonna come into you.
Yeah, I'll have to go into those holes.
They've got it upright, but now they've got no place to put it.
They put their trucks into a certain position to do the recovery. They didn't take into account of, oh, now what do we do?
The second wrecker lets go so it can reposition.
Just digging a hole.
They try wood blocks, but instead of traction, they get closer to ignition.
Start a fire.
So they improvise.
I thought the tow was gonna need a tow.
Without a rotator to lift it, they re-rig to try to pull the trailer up the rocky bank.
They don't have the gear, maybe not the experience even. Doesn't make them bad guys, it's just that they're dabbling in something they don't do every day.
A big city towing company has been brought in to keep a trailer loaded with mail from falling into the river.
That's good there.
They've got it upright. Now they're trying to pull it off a rocky bank without a rotator. For the second time in just a few hours, they nearly lose the load.
Gosh. 2 cables.
They're busting winch lines. They're not thinking through the next step.
They didn't want us to let go of it. We had our truck.
They couldn't even complete the job. They had to call in another company to help them finish it.
Two hours later, a third wrecker arrives on scene.
Hello? Yeah, it's just upright, but one false move here and it's rolling back in.
He had it on its wheels, then mine broke. So neither one of us can let go.
The third wrecker uses its boom arm to lift the back end of the trailer.
Say when, I can't see you.
After 2 days, 8 hours, 3 wreckers, and 2 broken winch lines, the mail is finally out of danger.
You can make a call into everyone to make just to let everybody know everything's okay. Those guys worked hard today. It looked like it was a little bit more than I think they expected.
It's like anything, you get what you pay for.
For Jamie, these last few jobs aren't enough to change the big picture.
Nice and easy.
As they go back off rotation, they've decided that rather than sit on the sidelines for 2 more weeks, they need to make their move.
Keep going.
The first wave prepares to leave for Fort McMurray early tomorrow morning.
Right there.
What we're gonna do is basically split the fleet up, move more of the high-end equipment up to Fort Mac, and we're gonna leave a team here to look after some, whatever's going on in Hope. We're not moving the whole fleet up to Fort McMurray.
It is 13-4.
Smells good.
Kids want dinner?
Kids, come on.
Okay, James, time to go for dinner. Come on.
Hey, do you want some salad, James?
Jamie's family is still trying to process what the move will mean for them.
I think it's gonna be a great place to do business. It sounds like it's just go crazy.
Are you just gonna do like 10 days on, 10 days off? What are you gonna do?
No, he's gonna stay.
Usually the standard is like 25 days on.
Now it's getting bigger. You told me when you first were gonna leave, it was gonna be 10 days.
Well, usually it's like,
and then it got up to
2 weeks on,
15,
2
and
weeks off.
now we're at 20?
Usually
or 25?
it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. But
You told me before you're just 10 days, Jim. And then I'm like,
that's
yeah,
the
go
Fort
ahead,
Mac
Jim.
standard is 25 on, 10 off.
If you're gone for 25 days, that's way too many days. 12 days max. But if you're making really good money, I'd like to stay a little longer.
What are you gonna do? You gonna come?
Me, Kevin, and Adam, the 3 Musketeers? Holy yeah, right.
In town, Ken has finally reached a decision.
It's a nice little place to be. I'm glad, I enjoyed the time that I spent here, but I gotta start pounding, put some cash aside. I'm leaving because there's not enough work here. It's just, that's plain and simple. There's just not enough going on. Oh, well, forget that. I'd hate to get run over by a moose. My son lives in Edmonton, so that's probably the defining factor for me in this whole endeavor. I'll only be 5 hours away from him. And if it does go well, and I do make big money, then I'll have something to leave him when I pass on. I'm part of the A-team. It's a win for me.
Just before dawn, the troops assemble in the yard.
On the far side.
Well, forever.
All right.
Okay, see ya.
Call you during the day.
I'm gonna make so much money in Alberta, they're gonna change the name of the town to Fort McMonkhouse.
Miss you. Love you.
I'll call you along the way if Jamie's driving. Don't kill me. Okay, love you. Give Kayla a kiss for me. Okay. Bye. The old lady. Almost feel like crying.
You have to have tenacity in the business, and you got to be able to be a survivor. And there's 2 things you're doing in the world. You're either going ahead or you're going backwards. We have to go ahead.
I got sitting here just on the other side of this corner, guys. Is Jamie up here?
I've got to get on with my life. I've got to figure out a way to lead this ship. I've got to figure out a way to keep it afloat. And I got to stay in business. You know, closer's not an option for me either.
Jamie's not even up there.